What's up, y'all? The Lost Paisano here, and today we're gonna be talking about, New Year's. And let me ask a question: how was everyone's New Year's, man? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it brutal? Was it excellent? Was it like, how was it? For me, it was okay. Like, it's just any other random year at this point, man. Or any other year at this point for me, man. Because back in the day, I was like, "Yo, year, let's go," and now I'm just like, I'm kind of like, like I'm just like it's the same shit, man. You know, getting older and older every day, and it's like, and News resolutions. Like, cause I never really understood that shit. Of course, it's like, what's your New Year, bro? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I never had anything to say because I generally didn't have anything to say. I wasn't really like a goal oriented person. I think that's probably a bad thing, but I mean, of course, I do want to try some things out or try to like improve on some shit, not just for like the year, but for like for like all throughout all my life, man. Because if you're just doing it for 1 year, then what about the next year? Are you gonna do it for the other next year, or are you just gonna be like, okay, all done? You know, because goals are supposed to be for like so they can do it in the future. Not just for today or tomorrow or whatever, but for like the rest of your life or some shit, that it can improve. So yeah, that's just kind of what it is. I mean, there are some things I do want to work on. I have a couple in mind, of course. Like one of the biggest one. Let's get the, let's get the main thing here. I do want to, you know, lose some weight, get max, bro, or whatever. I mean, I've been going to boxing classes since I was like, what's it, like 15 or 16 years old, but I've never really did like any training until like last year in May, literally a month before I graduated high school. Kind of regretted, not doing it earlier, but shit, what could you do, It is what it is. Like, it was my fault, Maybe cut out the slop, like not eat Taco Bell as much, not eat McDonald's as much, or maybe also like cut out the Mexican slop while I'm at it, like the carnitas, carne asada al pastor. I know, them shits are good as fuck. I don't want to like throw shade or talk shit about Mexican food because I love Mexican food, but like the only problem is it's bad for your health because the shit that you eat greasy as hell, and and you can get diabetes, heart disease, and all that bullshit, and then you die, so it's important, to not eat it too much. The other thing I want to do for myself, is be a better homie. Not just like, you know, but what I mean by better homie is like check up on people, see how they are, see how they've been, what's new, what's what's the word and all that, you know? Just be like, what's good, bro, and how you been, fool? What's up, Vato? All that shit, because you never know when their last day is, and you never know because they could be they could be dead right now, and you might not realize that until holy shit, they're fucking dead. You know, like you want to check in on your homie. Just be like, hey, what's up? I mean, if you're a busy person, then check up on them like maybe like at least once or twice a week, or maybe like once a month or whatever. Be like, yo, what's up, homie? How you been? maybe link up, assuming you don't have helicopter parents, but if you do, then just talk to them anyways, you know? Just do a little checkup, you know? I've been doing that for like, I've been doing it for, like, I want to do it more, because I feel like I don't do it a lot than I should. It's funny because I was literally talking to this other homie I have. He's a senior in high school currently as of recording of this video, and me and the fool were talking, and it was like a whole ass yap session for like 2 hours, and he was telling me to watch One Piece, and I was like, damn, man, you really gonna tell me about that shit again? And now I'm like, yeah, maybe I should just watch One Piece, because when I first watched it, it was like a good show. And, a couple episodes later, I'm like episode like 500 or whatever. I finished the Fishman arc. Bro, that arc was kind of boring in my opinion, because it was mainly yap. I mean, the fights were good, but like it was like yap after yap, and I was like, bro, when are they gonna fight? So I was like, nah, I was bored. And the homie was shitting me like, why are you not watching One Piece? And I was like, nah, bro, I don't have time for that shit, bro. It was, chemistry and robotics and all that shit. And I was like, nah, man, I can't do it. And, and I was like, maybe I should watch One Piece again, this year. We were having like a fucking yap sesh, me and him. And I was sending him like, a couple videos of DBDR, He told me he liked this one girl who's like part of culinary arts or whatever. They happened to be both in the same grade, and I was like, hey, man, you should. He's thinking about asking her to prom, and I'm like, hey, go for it. If you want to do it, go for it. But if not, then I don't know. Because he said he's not sure if he likes her. And I'm like, hey, if she does, she does. If she doesn't, she doesn't. I mean, I'm just like, nah. And he's also doing like Pathfinder, which is like, a program for like kids who are like a junior or senior who like get to work on airplane parts and shit. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, So after the yapping, he went to sleep, and I was kind of tired, and I was like, nah, 2 a.m. I slept. Kind of bad, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But yeah, I'm saying, like, check on your homies every once in a while. Just see how they've been, That's what I want. That's also one of my goals too. I think the final goal I should really have for myself, final goal is to like, since we're getting old, just not have any more issues with like my parents, I guess. Yeah, I know the helicopter is hell, but like, what else can you really do? You have to like, you gotta give everything you got, speaking with your mom and dad, say you love them and all that, my parents are not like, I wouldn't say they're bad parents, but I wouldn't call them like the best, they're like B tier, they're good, I'm not gonna lie to y'all and say that they're bad, but like, they're fairly good, like B tier parents, My only thing I would improve, is to them not be helicopter, little freedom, but get my spoilers, I said, I also don't want to argue with my parents because, my dad, how ice and going on, not trying to lose my dad, because, if he does die or my parents, especially, but my dad, since he's not he's not from USA, if he gets deported, it's gonna be brutal as fuck, so I do want to like, be like, yeah, you're getting old, and at some point you gotta be like, yeah, man, I'm not trying to have like a bad relationship, Same with like my sisters too, especially. Like we're getting old, bro. Like arguing with each other over little shit. Like, come on, man. Like, that's some. Like, no, bro. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I think that's all my goals. You know, one of them, losing weight. Second one, checking up on your homies, my homies. Third one is being a better family member, being like a better, I guess, brother or son, whatever you want to call it. Because we're getting old, bro. We're getting old for this shit, bro. At some point, you gotta be like, yeah, man, you can't stay mad at them forever. But yeah, that's all I want to say. Take care. I appreciate, watching this. Oh, fuck, it's 11 minutes. God damn, bro. Holy shit. Bro, you need to lock in, bro. I need to lock in too, This year has just begun. You might need to do homework. You might need to go to work. Shit, you might be doing finals right now. Second semester coming up and shit, man. Or you might be on the airplane, I don't know. Or whatever you're doing, But yeah. Take care. I'll see y'all in the next one. And have a good one.